This is City Council meeting of Maple Heights, Ohio, is being called to order on November 19th, 2025 at 7:02. I'd like to ask everybody to silence their cell phones. The invocation and pledge will be by Councilwoman Tangela Madden, District 5.
Father God, thank you for giving us another opportunity to be here to serve our residents and our community. Father, I thank you
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which we stand, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Clerk, please call the roll.
Jeanette.
Present.
Jones. Present. Tatum.
Here.
Anderson. Present. Madden.
Present.
Stafford Marbury.
Present.
Agee.
Present.
Jackson.
Here. May I have a motion to approve the November 5th, 2025 regular meeting minutes?
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Clerk, call the roll for approval.
Madden.
Yes.
Stafford Marbury.
Yes.
Agee.
Yes.
Jeanette.
Yes.
Jones. Yes. Tatum.
Yes.
Anderson.
Yes.
There's two. Communications. We have one communication objecting to ordinance number 2025-76 per Article 7, Section 8. We turn to Councilwoman's Edwina Agee for a special presentation. District 7.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Councilwoman Stafford Marbury, will you please join? Tonight, we would like to take a moment to honor two remarkable young men, two brothers, Andre and Davion. I know I messed up. Draven. I messed it up. Young men, can you please come up front? These brothers began their community effort by cleaning up their city in Garfield, Ohio, demonstrating incredible initiative and dedication as young men. Councilwoman Marbury.
So we'd like to present them with this proclamation honoring the Trash Boys LLC. Whereas the Trash Boys began when two young brothers, Andre and Dravian, took it upon themselves to clean up their city, transforming a simple act of care into a growing community movement. And whereas their dedication to improving their neighborhood has expanded into meaningful service for seniors, disabled residents, and veterans through dependable curbside assistance and neighborhood cleanups that support safety, dignity, and quality of life. And whereas the Trash Boys LLC has created local jobs, supported families, and established a youth program that engages young boys in constructive activities that build character, responsibility, and leadership. And whereas through mentorship, teamwork, and a strong commitment to service, the Trash Boys continue to demonstrate the power of young people to create real and lasting impact by reducing litter, uplifting vulnerable residents, and inspiring positive change throughout the community. Now, therefore, we, Maple Heights Council, do hereby recognize and commend the Trash Boys LLC for their outstanding contributions, community leadership, and unwavering dedication to making our neighborhoods cleaner, safer, and stronger. In witness hereof, we have hereunto set our hands this 19th day of November 2025 by councilpersons Edwina Agee, Councilwoman Dana Anderson, Councilwoman Tangeline Madden, Councilman Stafford Chenette, and myself, Councilwoman Tina Stafford Marbury.
Now, Councilman Chenette, can you please join us because we have something special for you guys?
Oh, really?
Yes, we do.
Young men, anytime they call me to the podium, that means something great's about to happen. Okay. The AG and myself, Councilman Chenette, we would like to give you this, who's the Dravian? That's you? Dravian, oh, you over here, Dravian, all right? All right. And Andre, that's you, all right? All right, guys, and we can meet after the meeting and go out together, all right? So, congratulations, young men. Let's give them a hand. And the beautiful mother is here with them. Let's give her a hand, too, for doing a great job raising these young men.
Thank you so much.
Okay, moving along, there are no committee reports, no department reports. Turning to citizens' comments. Do we have any citizens' comments?
This evening, Mark Gabor, he would like a comment, he has a comment about an objection to the passage of ordinance 2025-76.
Actually, I don't need the mic. My voice carries, or so I'm told.
Mark, we need it for the video.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you, Counselor. This is an email that I sent yesterday. I entitled Objections to Passage City Ordinance 2025-76. I further expounded upon this afternoon while having lunch here. To Mr. Ron Jackson, to Director Hazenall, Councilwoman Madden, and Councilwoman and Anderson, I believe. I am not in support of passage of this proposed legislation. My thoughts are, A, the wording of the legislation is overly restrictive in its implementation, in my humble opinion. It is my expectation that the Finance Department, in promotion of fiscal responsibility as legally required, would seek to obtain proposed items for the best value stock. B, as I understand the wording of the legislation, the intent is to micromanage the mayor as the chief civic and legal administrator of the municipality served. C, the wording of the legislation, in my opinion, is unclear as to the definitions of both quote, decorations, end quote, and, quote, amenities, end quote, on its face. As a City Maple Heights constituent for over 50 plus years, I urge those legislators whom serve me and fellow citizens to not approve implementation of this proposed legislation, especially as it is already policy established for monetary expenditures of over 25,000 new in the United States dollars to be addressed legislatively. Respectfully, Mark J. Gaber, Bachelor of Science in Nursing. Thank you and have a good evening.
Anyone else? That will end citizens' comments. Turning to legislation. Ordinance number 2025-76.
An ordinance amending section 240.05 of the codified ordinances of the city of Maple Heights, requiring council approval for all city monies expended for the refurbishing of city buildings and offices and for the purchase.
Passes ordinance number 2025-76 on reconsideration despite the objection by the mayor.
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion? If there is no discussion, the clerk will call the roll for passage despite the objection by the mayor.
Madden,
Yes.
Stafford Marbury,
Yes.
Agee,
Yes.
Jeanette,
Yes.
Jones,
No.
Tatum,
No.
Anderson.
Yes.
Resolution number 2025-86.
A resolution authorizing the mayor to approve the editing and inclusion of certain ordinances as part of the various component codes of the codified ordinances, to approve, adopt, enact, and publish new matter in the updated and revised codified ordinances, and to repeal ordinances and resolutions in conflict therewith.
This resolution is on its third reading. May I have a motion to pass this resolution?
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion?
Chair.
Councilman Tatum,
Yes, co-sponsor.
co-sponsor. Any other discussion? Hearing, seeing none, will the clerk call the roll for passage?
Madden,
Yes.
Stafford Marbury,
Yes.
Agee,
Yes.
Jeanette,
Yes.
Jones,
Yes.
Tatum,
Yes.
Anderson.
Yes.
Yeah.
Council President.
This resolution passes 7-0.
Thank you.
Council President.
Councilman Jeanette.
I'd like to make a motion to add to the agenda ordinance number 2025-90, ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into professional service municipal engineering consulting contract with engineer Matthew M. Jones.
Councilwoman Tony Jones, second the motion to amend.
Okay, and then the clerk can call the roll on the motion to amend and add it 2025-90 on second reading.
Madden,
Yes.
Stafford Marbury,
Yes.
Agee,
Yes.
Jeanette,
Yes.
Jones,
Yes.
Tatum,
Yes.
Anderson.
Yes.
Thank you, that's 90. Ordinance number 2025-91.
An ordinance authorizing the mayor to accept and enter into a subscription order form and one-year service agreement from January 1st, 2026 through December 31st, 2026 with One Line Solutions LLC CitizenServe for 11 users to access and use CitizenServe software in the building department. Includes setup, training, implementation, and data migration at a total cost of $27,299.98 with annual service fees of $19,800 thereafter, and to accept a grant from the First Suburbs Consortium in the amount of $27,299.98 to cover the cost of the first year of service agreement and declaring an emergency.
This ordinance is on its second reading. Ordinance number 2025-92.
An ordinance approving and authorizing various transfers of funds throughout 2025 by the Finance Director in the total amount of $204,000 from the general fund to the Police Pension Fund, Fund 215, for the purpose of paying Police Department employee pension obligations and declaring an emergency.
This ordinance is on its first reading. Ordinance 25-95.
An ordinance approving and authorizing various transfers of funds throughout 2025 by the Finance Director, in the total amount of $900,000 from the General Fund to the SCM and R Fund, Fund 270, for the purpose of paying street construction, repair, and maintenance obligations and declaring an emergency.
This ordinance is on its first reading. Ordinance number 2025-96.
An ordinance approving and authorizing transfer of funds in 2025 by the Finance Director in a total amount of $65,000 from the General Fund to the Street Lighting Fund, Fund 212, for the purpose of paying street lighting obligations and declaring an emergency.
This ordinance is on its first reading. Ordinance number 2025-97.
An ordinance approving and authorizing advances of funds in 2025 by the Finance Director in the total amount of $350,000 from the General Fund to the Water Usage Fund, Fund 219, for the purpose of paying sewer system improvement obligations, pending reimbursement from the city sewer use rate charge collected by Northeast Ohio Sewer District, at which time the advance will be repaid into the general fund and declaring an emergency.
This ordinance is on its first reading. May I have a, it's on its first reading. Ordinance number 2025-98.
An ordinance approving and authorizing advance of funds in 2025 by the Finance Director in the total amount of $80,000 from the general fund to the Police Levy Fund, Fund 230, for the purpose of paying salaries of police personnel and providing police vehicles, communications, and equipment, pending reimbursement from the police levy property tax proceeds, at which time the advance will be repaid into the general fund and declaring an emergency.
This ordinance is on its first reading. Ordinance number 2025-99.
An ordinance approving and authorizing advance of funds in 2025 by the Finance Director in the total amount of $90,000 from the general fund to the Fire Levy Fund. Advance of funds in 2025 by the Finance Director in the total amount of $4,000 from the general fund to the EMS Grant Fund, Fund 256, for the purpose of providing emergency services equipment, pending reimbursement from the EMS grant proceeds, at which time the advance will be repaid into the general fund and declaring an emergency.
This ordinance is on its first reading. Ordinance number 2025-101.
An ordinance approving and authorizing advances of funds in 2025 by the Finance Director in the total amount of $55,000 from the general fund to the COPS Grant Fund, Fund 250, for the purpose of paying police officers' salary and benefits obligations, pending reimbursement from the COPS grant proceeds, at which time advances will be repaid into the general fund and declaring an emergency.
This ordinance is on its first reading. Ordinance number 2025-102.
An ordinance determining that Fund 736 is dormant and not needed for a municipal purpose, and authorizing the closure of Fund 736 and directing the Finance Director to transfer the balance of monies in Funds 736 to the general fund effective December 31st, 2025, and declaring an emergency.
This ordinance is on its first reading.
Council President.
Attorney Consolo.
Thank you. I just wanted to address, Councilwoman Jones had brought up a question during caucus, and just so we're clear on the record. So all of the transfers and advances that we just ran through, except for transfers of $75,000 to the police pension, $75,000 to the fire, and $30,000 to the cops grant fund, which totals $180. All the other amounts have already been transferred and advanced. That's why, like I said, that happened because of the original budget amount. So the question was, how would all of these transfers affect our bottom line?
Approved.
So moved.
Clerk call the roll.
Madden,
Yes.
Stafford Marbury,
Yes.
Agee,
Yes.
Jeanette,
Yes.
Jones,
Yes.
Tatum,
Yes.
Anderson.
Yes.
If you turn into the mayor's report.
Good evening. Tonight is the police department's annual mocktail event at the IX Center, which I normally will attend, but given the financial matters on the agenda, I'm here tonight. I'm hoping they win tonight. We usually, there's a lot of competitions, probably over 20 police departments will be competing. I don't know what the mocktail will be, but I'm looking for a win tonight, but wish them well in my absence. And it's with Mothers Against Drunk Driving. These are non-alcoholic beverages that our police department comes up with a great recipe. They dress, if it's spaceship, they dress for the, to just really bring the theme home as they compete. And just to really encourage people to not drive under the influence, and it's a way to address impaired driving. So again, I wish them success. I do want to thank, I'm not sure if you got resident Mark Gaber, who came to the podium in support of my veto of 2025-91, which was introduced by council, 2025-76, I'm sorry, to approve all expenditure of $40,000. And so it's certainly $40,000. And so it's certainly not going to affect that budget as in a bunk bed, so that our people are working in the best environments they can, given these are not new facilities. And we improvise. Whatever you have, you make do with it. It certainly would be nice to have council chambers that are nice, with nice chairs, dais for our council president, and not have to utilize the lunchroom. But this is where we are. And so I objected because I think over, be 10 years in January, I've sat in this seat. I've never put any fund in the deficit. It was $40,000, and this isn't for me. Everybody buys out of this furniture and fixtures fund. Nevertheless, council has introduced this legislation. I vetoed it, they approved it again. So we're moving on. It is what it is. And we will continue to work with what we have. I'm glad, however, they did not do that to the fire department. They actually approved their carpet and they approved their bunk bed. So I'm happy about that. Thank you for doing that. Long day. I drove to Columbus last night in horrible weather in the rain to fight for the $550,000 that we were denied for the playgrounds. I got back later today. So I'm my voice is a little raspy because just driving, it was horrible with the rain and the cold. And so we're trying to get funding to replace playground equipment in 5 parks. We've applied many times before. We've applied for pool money and we keep getting denied. We're hoping to have a lobbyist, and that was denied. So I am not a lobbyist, but I tried my best last night at the dinner and this morning with the senators, Senator of Finance, the state Attorney General was there to try to make a a plea along with the school superintendent to have them reconsider the sale price, and they go through a building department. People don't want to spend $200,000. These are new families, and the kids don't have a playground. These playgrounds are outdated. We had a situation 2 years ago, a young lady came down a sliding board and was cut because the sliding board was cracked. So I had the service department take the sliding board off. There also are non-inclusive adaptive playgrounds, which is what's required. We have children in wheelchairs. We have children with sensory issues. My grandson has a sensory issue. We have children disabled. So we need playground equipment that is adaptive and inclusive. And whether you're in a wheelchair, you're a kid that can go up 10 steps and come back down, everybody can come to those playgrounds. And so I'm not sure. I drove back this afternoon believing that my plea for playgrounds was receptive. And this next round of funding, I was told that we have a good chance. We might get it. We might get the playground equipment. The playground equipment is probably over 25 years old. So we're always competing, and we're competing with 58 other communities. There's 59 communities in the county. 2 years ago, my staff and I, we looked at all the playgrounds. We have some of the worst playgrounds out of those communities, as well as sitting in the seniors' lunchroom. We are really trying to move the city forward in its presentation. This first Suburbs Consortium, this grant that we've gotten, which is, it's 2025-91. Citizen Serve is another attempt at trying to regionalize among the cities. We are part of a regionalized dispatch center, Chagrin Valley Dispatch Center, so we can spread the cost of what it costs for a dispatch center across cities. So not one, we're not paying $1 million, but we're splitting, if it's 10 million, we're splitting that, and I forget how many cities, we're over 20 cities now. And we're trying to do that now in the building department. So the Citizen Serve is the software that most cities use. And we don't have this software. And I said we can't afford it. Streamline and regionalize the building department. Right now we have an outsourced company, SafeBuild, that takes 72 cents of every dollar that we make. There's 2 revenue centers in this city. And the revenue centers are the building department. You get charged for permits and registrations. You saw the Fund 736, we read about that. That was ordinance number 25102. That was money collected in the building department. That's a revenue center. That's a place we collect money. The other revenue center in the city is Mayor's Court. People get tickets, they pay fines. Every other department is an expense. You see all of the transfers, the police, those are expense centers. They cost the city money. They provide a service, but we pay for that service. So 2 revenue centers, and that's Mayor's Court, Building Department. So to lose 72 cents because we outsource to this company is something we've been working with the county, a lot of the mayors. All the mayors get together the 4th Thursday of every month to figure out what we can do to bring more money into our city, have more revenue and expenses, so we have a positive net operating income. That's what we have to do to stay out of fiscal emergency, where we were and we've been out of. And you heard the council ask, what's the balance? That's what we do. That's why we don't spend a lot of money. If we've got $40,000 for furniture and fixtures, that's what we spend, but we normally never go over that. We can't build a $15 million municipal center. Councilman Tatum and I were guests at the ribbon cutting of the new municipal center in North Randall, which used to be Elgin's Furniture. $15 million. It's absolutely beautiful. Those playgrounds. We celebrate children, as they did here. What a wonderful presentation. But we have to also celebrate the kids that live here, the stakeholders. They want to return their investment. They're going to spend $200,000 on a house, or they're paying their taxes, their property taxes, they're paying their income taxes. They want a playground. There's a return on the investment. And I am charged, we're all charged, with making sure we're giving those residents and business owners back a return on their investment. On the Saturday before Thanksgiving, the date's out of my mind, I have to bring it up. It will be Shop Small Saturday. As you probably noticed on city's social media, we've hired a communications coordinator. And so what we've done is we've featured all the local businesses since Saturday, November 29th. And you will see the businesses, and it started in Chagrin Falls, and we've been doing it now about 4 years. We want you to know who those small businesses are in the city so that most people start Christmas shopping, holiday shopping. We want to say Christmas, there are many holidays that are celebrated. Holiday shopping the day after Thanksgiving with Black Friday. And so now we've adopted it all through Cuyahoga County. So look at the videos, shop small. We're giving special incentives during that holiday shopping week, and you get to see the new businesses. We have opened in the last 3 years probably 10 new businesses, and these are the new businesses you will see. Some are existing, but a lot of them are new. And so that's what we're hoping to do. And with that, I'll end my report and just wish you all a blessed Thanksgiving. Thank you.
Thank you. Turning to the council president's report. I want to be as respectful as I possibly can tonight. I was thinking about this report that I wanted to give tonight. All the way up until the special presentation that was given. This I don't have written down. You might have heard that they gave these young men some just due. You also heard, listen to what someone's tell you. Somebody's not telling the truth. I'm only going to say things that I can prove. And she kept repeating, that's not true. That's not true. That's not true. So I want to address some of these statements tonight. First, I want to talk about candy. So at least we're starting out with something sweet. Again, the whole story wasn't told. She talked about me questioning about the candy. But the thing of it, she only read part of the chain of the email that was sent out about the candy. I'm going to tell you what the rest of it said. Good evening. Your Halloween candy is to be picked up in room 7. So I answered, good afternoon. Seeing the candy this morning, will any additional candy be provided? That was not about the cost, but about the amount. So when I heard that the candy was going to be picked up, I thought all the candy was there to be picked up, and that's what all we was going to get. But then after that, dear council members, please be advised that additional candy will be available for pickup tomorrow after 11:30. That part of the story was left out, so there was more to come. So, and my question wasn't about the amount of the cost of the candy, it was about the amount of the candy. Talked about to review legislation. She talked about the length of time to review legislation, Friday through Monday. Sometimes that's true, especially when it comes to deadlines for grants, roadworks, information that has to be sent to government agencies, and a few other items. Most other legislations normally go through 3 readings. That's 5 weeks. The committee of the whole meeting the night before the election was talked about that I canceled that meeting, and I did. Why did I cancel that meeting? It was the night before an election. There was no critical legislation that was due that had to be talked about, so the meeting was canceled. YouTube. While everyone on council believes it's a good idea, but it was not in the 2025 budget. So that line item would be applied, what line item would that be applied to? It mentioned 3 bids were sought or people was talking to. Where are those 3 bids? Yes, I had about 16 questions about YouTube. On about October 6th, I emailed my questions to Councilwoman Anderson. I copied the law director and the mayor. And some people say when I do stuff like that, they say, why you counsel the mayor? This is a council thing. I believe the mayor is the CEO of our city. And as such, in respecting that position, I think that she should be involved or informed, at least informed about things that's going on. So I copied her on it. Finance has answered some questions, but I still haven't got a response from Councilwoman Anderson as of today. And this was October 6th. The swearing-in ceremony. They question my spending the money and not informing them. So I'm just wondering now if the swearing-in ceremony for 2026 is going to come before council. I mentioned something about, or I've mentioned a couple of times about the Government Affairs Committee. The Government Affairs Committee review action plans of the Building Service Law and Human Services Department. Two words, assist and review, are mentioned numerous times throughout this document. There are qualified people with years of experience in these positions, part of the administrative staff, some with degrees working full-time in their fields. I think they should be left alone, let them do the job that they were hired to do without having someone looking over their shoulder. I want to say a couple of words here: influence, persuade, pressure, threaten, and manipulation. You say, why would I mention those words? It's happened before. People at this table tried to intimidate others at this table. So much so that council people felt that they need others to walk them to their cars for fear of being approached by other council people. If they say something like, this would not happen, it did not happen. Were you here the night that the mayor got aggressively approached by a council person and other people had to step in between them? So things like this do happen. Yeah, I'm here in the charter, and I just said I would just let it and see if they would stop. The budget. You heard Councilwoman Stafford Marbury said, quote, council doesn't know anything about the budget. And she would say, that's not true. I'm sorry here. October 28th, 2024. Public notice. Finance Committee meeting. What's on the agenda? The council budget for 2025. The council don't know anything about the budget. People saw that money sitting there and they just wanted to spend it even though it was set aside for something else. It was in the budget. Email. Good morning, council members. As we prepare for next year, talking about the budget, there were some things that they wanted to have included in the budget. But the statement was made that council knew nothing about the budget. Email. Good morning. I'm reaching out to share the results of our finance meeting on Wednesday, October 30th, 2024, where we will discuss priorities for the 2024/2025 council budget. We've identified our top requests ranked from 1 to 5, with 1 being the most important. Here's a summary. But they don't know nothing about the budget. That was sent by Councilwoman Agee. Emailed the council in response on the 31st. Good morning. I believe that the finance meeting was very informative and productive. Prior research proved to be invaluable for guidance. Many thanks. Signed, Councilwoman Stafford Marbury. But she stated she didn't know nothing about the budget. Not through with the budget. From me to Councilman Stafford Jeanette, Finance Chair, November 5, 2024. As Council President and responsible for Council's budget, I will be meeting with the finance to know anything about the budget. But she stated that she didn't know anything about the budget. Council didn't know anything about the budget. Next, I want to go to clerk replacement. Because this was talked about. Our clerk announced her retirement around the November budget meeting and I included additional funds to be held to train the new council person. Figured that when we hired somebody, our old clerk would help train the new clerk. Councilwoman Stafford Marbury stated it was months before the search of the new clerk began. Many months. I think many is more than 1, more than 2. She said many months. So I want to address that a little bit. Our clerk announced in November. Our HR put out notice in December. End of December 2024 and the beginning of 2025. She got over 80 applications. She started reviewing them, separating, made some phone calls. How many times I'm going to keep hearing chatter down there? Last council meeting, and mistakenly so, I chatted and I was called out on it. So can you please? November 2024, the finance meeting money was put into the budget for the new council clerk. December 2024, HR advertised council clerk position. End of December, beginning of January, HR received over 80 resumes. HR director reviewed them, conducted phone interviews, recommended 3 for council's consideration based on qualifications, which included some as clerk in the past and or current positions. These were clerks. The clerk is selected by council, but still is city employee and an HR assist in hiring of those people. I scheduled interviews for these first 3 candidates. Sorry, bear with me here. Unfortunately, I had some health issues. I couldn't attend a lot of the interviews for the clerks and some council meetings. I was unable to attend. It happened, in fact, and I still remember it vividly, the second council meeting in January on the 15th. A couple of people looked at me and said, "You don't look good." And I said, "I didn't feel good." It started 5 months of February 6th, council led by Councilwoman Stafford Marbury wanted to see more suitable applicants. These past 3 were all clerks or past clerks. When you find more suitable, council wants to review all 88 applications they wanted to review. And they wanted to take over the process of hiring a council clerk. February 7th, HR, after reviewing 80 applicants, these were the most qualified. Hiring someone with no experience would require training. And we know that. Our director, HR director, has 15 years of experience. But part-time council members disregarded HR's director's experience and felt they could do a better job. Councilwoman Stafford Marbury asked for all 88 resumes to be printed for review. She made this request on Friday at 8:30 a.m. and she wanted the applications by the end of the day. HR has other work and was unable to do. But when should council members direct administrative staff on what to do and in what time frame that they have to do it in? This is what the Government Affairs Committee, I feel, is about, is getting in direction, in the middle of council and the administration. 12th, Councilwoman Stafford Marbury Councilwoman Stafford Marbury wants applications then emailed to council. Additional work for HR. February 12th, Councilwoman Stafford Marbury to Councilman Jeanette. Quote, "Additionally, since I have been the most outward vocal on this, I would like to continue through this process." And so I was like, how does that work? She asked the pro tem, this is what she want to do. She didn't ask the president. Does he even have that authority to grant such? She didn't ask the rest of council to vote to see if she could lead it. But that's what she wanted to do. She wanted to control. All through this whole thing, that's all it's about. February 21st. Councilman Jeanette, based on the meeting, we were supposed to schedule a meeting for the 27th. Also look for dates in March. February 20th. Councilwoman Stafford Marbury, Councilwoman Jeanette Anderson, Madden agreed to review applications, suggested dates for meetings on February 27th. HR comments on the resumes for the 27th. Clerk Leonette sent 73 resumes to council, 12 at a time via email. Also on the 27th, that meeting that was scheduled, canceled. No quorum. Not enough council people to come to the meeting. February 27th. Councilwoman Stafford Marbury to me, I've been working diligently since our last application review for council clerk position. I'm unclear as to why now you are trying to take over this process after being silent this entire time. I have been involved all the time through text, emails, and phone calls. February 28th, to Councilwoman Stafford Marbury. I think you know I've been ill. That does not mean that I have not been involved by email, text, phone calls this entire time. The suggestion is that upon returning from an illness, you lose your position. I was not supposed to come back and then schedule meetings. March 3, first few candidates withdrew. 8 candidates selected for another round or a round on March 8th. Let me just, I'm not going to read all of this. Let me just try to freelance this. I scheduled meetings. I was involved. I tried to schedule meetings far enough in advance, and as many meetings as advance, to try to get through all of the candidates we had, because we had quite a few. Don't know how many of the 88 we was going to review, but we got back down to 8. I asked to schedule meetings. People wouldn't respond back. Somebody even said, we need to expedite this process. Expedite it, let's hurry up. After that, asking to be expedited, I tried to schedule a meeting. You know how quick we had a meeting? A month from then. That doesn't sound like expediting anything to me. I can't hire the council person. I don't even have a vote. I need to have council members meet to do that. I said the only time we would always have a meeting, anytime we had a quorum. We was going to have 4, we was going to have a quorum. So this went on for a couple of months of only being able to have 1 meeting a month because of people wasn't available. So fast forward, we got down to 2 candidates, both of us as boss. 220 rules clearly state that the council president is the person who sees over the council clerk. Why would somebody say that he would have 8 bosses? It sounds a little disrespectful to me, to the position and or the person. We got that kind of straightened out. He accepted the position, thought we was ready to go. We had a clerk. In his conversation with somebody at the city, he later stated, something was said after he accepted the position. He sent a resignation letter. Didn't want the position anymore. Then after another conversation, he said he changed his mind. He wanted the position. What's wrong, Councilwoman Anderson? Can I finish talking without hems and hawing, or can I do that while you talk? Would that be all right?
If you want to do that while I'm talking, you can.
Okay, thank
It's
you.
ridiculous.
Why? Because I'm telling the truth
No,
of
you're
what
taking up
happened?
the residents' time. It's not being considered up.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't. You're right, absolutely. I shouldn't have been in agreement with that.
Chairman,
Say anything.
Chair.
Dana.
Chair,
Councilman Shadid.
I'll rise to a point of order.
What is it? Go ahead.
Before this body, it seemed like a filibuster of a report, and what is it? Frank, is it in order, if it's gonna be a filibuster of a report, that I just put a motion on the floor, that we move forward from it?
Yeah, no, I mean, your rules allow for everybody to give a report, so until he's done, yeah. I mean, we don't recognize the term filibuster, so.
Yeah, and that's why I just rise to a point of order, because it seemed to be going a little back and forth. You know, so if you guys gonna do that, it seemed like it's not gonna be fruitful.
I thought I was going in chronological.
That was my point of order.
Okay. I thought I was going in order. Dates from latest to the first. How did the council handling the hiring process for the clerk work out? Months. And people who said they knew how to interview, the person that they picked end up not wanting the position after accepting the position. And I got more, but I'm gonna stop.
Yay.
I want to hear more.
So do I. Last week when they was.
Council President,
Yeah.
Council President.
Don't say nothing, please.
Nothing said
Please.
last week.
So, and you know, something was said last week too, to Council Marbury, that I really appreciated her saying that. And I agree with it. At some point, this has got to stop. But it can't, well, and for the rest of the year, I'm not gonna say anything negatively, because if you remember, for years, this meeting for me, I've always talked about how people between the Thanksgiving holiday and New Year's, how friendly and how everybody is just so nice to each other. But hearing that first thing after the special presentation, just, are they really concerned about working together with other council people and administration when they stand up and do something like that? Not include other council people in a presentation for something? I don't get it. But anyway.
Reached out also about that. I've called, April has called, and that is the water department's responsibility to take care of it. City Maple is not the one who has to repair that issue. And so it's been going on for quite some time. And unfortunately, they still cannot give a date. I reached out again today. They still cannot give a date when that will be repaired. So just so the residents know that we, as council people, service department, do all we can, but it's not always in our hands to get things done. Thank you. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving. God bless. End of report.
Thank you. Next, Councilwoman Tina Stafford, Marbury, District 6.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you all for coming out on this cold evening, and happy holidays to everyone. District 6 quarterly meeting is going to be on December the 8th at 6 o'clock at the library. I did have some other information to put back on the table. I will put it, well, there's nobody here, but I did go to the turkey giveaway that was done by UH with the city, and it was wonderful to talk to them there. They did give me some information about the things that they're doing over at the, excuse me, that Bedford, what they call it, that Bedford Community Wellness place. So I do have some information that I can give you to do those things. They're doing some wonderful things like on December the 2nd, creating custom organic bath products and vision boards. They're having muffins and Medicare on December the 2nd to talk about Medicare. They also, they have a lot of things going on, and they have, like I say, December calendar. So I did want to give you all that information, so I just wanted to briefly say that. Let's see. I did say that council did not know, indicating to the mayor's statement about when we don't get an email. I don't get an email that says we have these things going on. I hear about it when it comes on the table. I shouldn't have to go to the website to see what's happening in the city. So that's what I meant about those 30 houses. But I do want to say, though, thank you for going to Columbus and fighting for the money for the playgrounds, because who's better to speak than the people here? I know we did not approve the lobbyists, but I could not see approving paying someone $5,000 a month, and they could not guarantee me a return. It was supposed to be $500,000, but they stood at that podium and said it could be 2, it could be 3. They could not give Councilwoman Anderson a percentage of their successes. So I did not feel that for me to vote for them. But I do appreciate you going, because I think that would make more impact than someone else. Also, I hear we just gained $300,000. So I don't know where that money is gonna go, but perhaps some of those funds that were just been sitting for years can be used for part of the playgrounds or whatever we might be able to get. Council President talked about the whole email wasn't read. It said on there, was this enough candy? Perhaps that's what they thought, oh, we need more candy, and we did, and we got more candy, so what I said was true. You all talked about the YouTube again, and nobody knew anything about it. Mayor yourself suggested it could be taken out of professional services. So when we say nobody knew where the money was coming, you were at one of the meetings and you suggested that, and you even suggested a vendor that Councilwoman Anderson did look into. So the three, and Council President was in one of the meetings, and we talked about all this, and he received the information about the cost of was the owl or the cameras or whatever. So to continue to say no one knew and the money was just taken because we saw $8,000, that's not where that money came from. We were looking at our expenses when we had the finance report, and there was $20,000 that was gonna go back. And Council President, when we were talking about the funds that were there, you yourself were saying, well, I wanna have some too. If you all are gonna get this amount, then I should get some too. So you left that part out. Yeah, 220 rooms, yes, at that. Many months before the council clerk was interviewed, that is true. She left in December, and you made the statement, council. Okay, let me go in order. So HR sent us 3 qualified candidates. One of them was a council clerk. 2 of them were retired, and the one just wanted a job. So no, we did not choose those people. And like I said, it was many months. You talked about them being qualified. Well, we've been talking these last couple months about transferable skills, right? So they didn't have to be a council clerk because they would have had transferable skills. You talked about the council clerk that we hired. Well, someone talked to this gentleman, and there was a lot of issues there before he even got here. So did we want to reconsider that? And it was not just myself, but the majority of. And why would you want to bring drama into a already drama-filled council? So he was not reconsidered. You talked about government affairs. That had nothing to do with the resume request. You talked about government affairs wanting to look at the resumes. Yes, I did take the lead, but I also spoke to my colleagues and asked if they were okay with that, and they were. So it wasn't me taking it upon myself and not talking to my colleagues, because I did. Did I ask the pro tem and not ask you? You were out ill by your own statement. So I call myself not bothering you. I sent you well wishes while you were out because, I mean, why would I not? So yes, I did ask the pro tem because he was the one that we were having all the conversation with. He said he had 8 bosses. We go back to the other council clerk. You were in the room when that was stated. I don't know if you were saying that I said you should lose your job. Perhaps you weren't clear, because I've never said that. People are so fixated on who wants their job and who wants to do what. And I'm gonna say it again. I'm not looking to be mayor, council president, anybody in the finance department. I'm not looking to get any employees fired, which is being said that council is trying to get the administrative employees fired. That is not true. All I want is ask for what I need and go about my business. I don't even come to City Hall except for rarely. So that is not true. If you want to come back next week with some more, I'm available. But if you stop, I'm gonna say it again. It just needs to stop. People are saying things and they're omitting information and they're embellishing other information, and we just need to move forward. People are in their feelings. People need to get out of their feelings, because it's not about us. It's about them. That's who it's about. Happy Thanksgiving. End of report.
Thank you, Councilwoman Edwina Agee, District 7.
Good evening. I would like to invite the residents to join myself and the other council members on Monday, November the 24th, from 5 o'clock to 6:30 p.m. for our Thanksgiving produce distribution. It will be held at 5345 Warrensville Center Road, next to the Beauty Exchange Supply Store in Southgate. Have a happy Thanksgiving. End of report.
Thank you. Councilman Stafford, District 1.
Thank you, Council President. We look forward to joining Councilwoman Agee for the fresh fruits and vegetable giveaway and Thanksgiving event next Monday. I look forward to the residents coming out and enjoying that moment there at Southgate. I want to wish everyone safe travels, those who are looking to go visit family and whatnot, but to enjoy your Thanksgiving holiday, enjoy your family, be blessed. Many blessings to each and every one of you. Have a good evening. In the report.
At or below $70,000 and have a certified delinquent property tax in order to get assistance up to $10,000 to help you become current. They have recently just dropped the age. They decreased the age to 67. So if you're 67 or older, and if you have an annual income at or below $70,000, this does not include Social Security. So even if you apply for the homestead exemption, it does not include Social Security. And if you have a certified delinquent balance, which means that you're at least 1 year past due, please reach out to either somebody at the senior center, reach out to your council people, check them out online, and please get help in order for them to help you become current and to also save your house. Another announcement is Cleveland Housing Network, which is now CHN Housing Partners, has a home weatherization assistance program that is available for county residents. Priority is given to residents that are older than the age of 60, may or may not have a disability. Also priority is given to residents who have children in their homes. It is homeowners as well as renters could also apply. The weatherization program provides energy efficient improvements. It could also help you with a replacement on your furnace, your hot water tank, gives you insulation, they could do some plumbing repairs, and that application is live now. From what I understand, the turnaround time, they have no waiting list. I have one application here with me. I do know that Jamie has some of them at the senior center. You could also apply online. And lastly, when Council President was speaking, I did hear some comments from other council members about you being childish, and I think I also heard very clearly somebody call you a jackass. And that
Jones Jr. He's having a community gathering, Cornell Jones Jr. He's having a community gathering Saturday, the 22nd from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. at Southgate Lanes. So if you can get up there, it's a holiday, everybody's cooking, please plan to attend that. Also, the youth bowling party that I'm sponsoring on the 25th is completely booked, and we had about 75 slots for the youth. So I would really appreciate it that my colleagues and all the city administrators, if you can make it, and I know some of us work, and I'm gonna be off work that day, but if you can make it, please show up to support our youth and let our youth know that we actually care about them. December 5th is my annual senior Christmas party, and I'm inviting all the seniors of Maple Heights that can make it out. They have a list, but anybody that can make it out from any district you live in, any part of the city you live in, please come and have a meal with myself as well as the rest of the seniors. And we have some gift door prizes and some gifts to give away as well. Other than that, District 3 Christmas party is coming up. I didn't have a location yet, but I should have some more information on that at our next council meeting. And I also want to thank everybody that participated in the free turkey giveaway. And it was a blessing that our seniors, our residents, was able to come out and get a turkey. As my colleague, Councilwoman Stafford Marbury said, I think it was UH and the city sponsored this event, and it was a very well attended event. So thank God that everybody was able to get some turkeys. And also November 29th, we got a small business day. So support these small businesses, and we're looking forward to doing all of that. But I want to just thank everybody for coming out. I'm sorry it took so long. Have a blessed night and a wonderful and safe Thanksgiving. End of report. Oh, I'm sorry, one other thing, Mary, who won the mocktail?
Did we win? We won. Did we win?
That's great.